All right, there we go. Now I gotta get this thing shut down. Hey, Doug.
Good morning.
I gotta mute this thing. Thanks, Christina. All right, I'm just getting everything set up on YouTube, and then we can go and jump into it.
Are you guys local today?
Yeah, we're local. We've been back to Tampa for 2 weeks now.
Hey, I'd like to give you a call later. I got something cooking.
Oh, that's good.
I might be able to see if you could help me out, figure out how to put it all together.
No problem. All right, well, everybody's got the link. I'll go ahead and jump in and get started, and people can come on. Obviously, now we're going live on YouTube as well as on Zoom, so a lot of people are jumping on YouTube. I have to takes me an extra minute just to get things set up in the morning, but the nice part is that I don't have to re-upload the meeting again. So I like that aspect of this. So yeah, that's going on, and I can see, who's watching and different things like that. So I can go to my YouTube live, and what we do is we send out a link to my YouTube channel, and then you can like and subscribe to the channel, and then you're able to get a notification every time we go live. So that's a nice feature there. So I might just see what the heck's going on there and make sure that's good. Yeah. And so just got to make sure everything's looking good on here. Well, anyway. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. All right, good. So here we are. We're rolling now. So I'm live and on YouTube and here on Zoom. So if you're here this morning, welcome. Christina and I are back in Florida now. We were on the road for about a month and a half, and then came home, and we had at our church, we do a big kids week. So that was for last week. I think we did Monday through Friday with them, 2 meetings a day. And I think there was thousands of kids showed up. And then we went right into our summer conference at church, which is another, 16 meetings or something like that. So we serve a lot. And, so we've been crazy busy last week. But during that whole time, we've been working our business too. So, I mean, we're on a goal. We have a mission. We want to win the trip to Stockholm. And so we're watching our numbers, and we're, making sure that we do everything that we have to do to get to where we need to be in order to make the trip. And if you don't know how to do that, you want to log into your back office and check your points. A lot of times people think, oh, I'm never going to win that trip, but they don't realize it's based on last year's numbers. And if you didn't do a lot last year, and your increase is only a little bit over last year, you have a decent month, you could win the trip. So, I mean, it's achievable for a lot of people. And then the other way you can win it is, the other way that you can win it or get points is, besides your volume, is by signing people on the subscribe and save. So we're trying to keep track of that. You need to sign 5 new people in 1 month on a subscription. And so that's why we're giving them away for free right now. So it's 100% free. And, think about this. You can give somebody a free product that's worth about $80 or $90, right? So, what you'll find is who your real friends are, because, when you go out and you start asking your real friends, hey, I need a favor. Can you sign up on a free subscription for me? And they think it's a scam. That's when you realize who your real friends are, right? So you'll have people who say, oh, I don't want to give you my credit card or whatever, but that's the nature of people, and it is what it is, right? So anyway, so what we did was we went on like a full court press this month, and I started reaching out to everybody who I've never really gotten into my business. And it's like, there's a lot of people who probably never want to do Volara, but they'll take something for free to help me out, right? And but it's a kind of there. I mean, it's not. There's no like hook to it, right? The only hook is if they love the vitamins and they want to buy more. So I just have been reaching out to people saying, listen, I can give away 5 of these in a month. I need to give away 5 in order to get 1 point towards a trip to Stockholm, Sweden. And I can only get 1 point in a month by doing this. So, you can be one of my 5. I'm not going to get 6 or 7 people a free one in a month. I'll wait till next month and do 5 more. I'll stack them up. I'll get the application filled out and have it sitting on my desk, and next month I can be ahead of the game. And well, you might say, well, but Mark, it's already, what is this month? We're just now moving into August. So we have August, September, October, November. So we have 5 more months. It's 5 points towards a trip. How else can you get a trip or a point? I'm glad you asked. Well, you can also do it by sponsoring somebody new into your business who buys a pack. So that's another point. So let's say somebody joins you with a pro pack, 3-pack, 5-pack, something like that, or even the old ASPs, the lesser price pack. If they get a 3 or 5-pack of the old ASPs, that's another point. And every pack they buy throughout the whole entire year, you're going to get credit. That's a point. So let's say you get somebody who, Mike keeps glitching. Let's say you get somebody who jumps in your business and gets a big deal where they sell 5 or 6 or 7 packs. So that could be 6 or 7 points towards a trip. And some of you might say, well, who cares about a trip? I don't want to go to Stockholm, Sweden, or I don't want to go to Copenhagen, Denmark. Well, you don't need to go. But if you win the trip, that momentum will pay you a lot of money. So, are you in this thing to make money? Then go out and try to win the trip. See, that's what I do. I try to pick like small things, which actually is not a small thing. I mean, we won a trip to Vail, our first year in the business, I think it was our first year or second year. I can't remember. If it was based, I think it was based on our first year numbers, but anyway, we won a trip to Vail and we were there with some of our team. Sajid was there, and Carmen and Edgardo were there, and Regis and Jody were there. And so some people on our team actually got to go, and there's nothing like it, to be in a place that's, like a 5-star resort with meals and all these things. They do parties and get-togethers and awards banquets, but every day they gift you with stuff, and there's excursions and outing and horseback riding and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty amazing, right? So if going to Colorado was amazing, imagine going to Copenhagen or going to Stockholm, right? So what you want to do is you want to say, look in your back office, log in, and go to your reports, like how you would look up your enrollment tree. And you go down to, which one is it? Customize reports. And under that, it'll say Stockholm, Sweden. And then you look up your points and you say, oh man, what do I need to do? Like this month so far, I think we've gotten 2 points towards the trip. And then you look at your numbers. It'll say your target. If you're brand new in the business, you have to hit 200,000 points. In the year, 200,000 if you're brand new. Now, if you've been in the business, it's just a increase, which I believe is only a 10% increase it's maybe 20% increase over last year. So let's say only did 10,000 last year, you need to do like 14,000 this year. I mean, so the second year in is actually really easy to win it. And that would give you 25 VIP points. And then you have the subscription points, which those are nice because let's say like this month, if I get 5 in and if they don't cancel, those 5 don't cancel, then guess what? That's another point towards next month because they allow you for 2 months. So that makes the second month a heck of a lot easier because like we got it in January and in February based on what we did in January. So we got 5 people in or 6 people in January, which carried over to February. But then I let off the gas. I didn't get any March, April, May, or June. So that's not good. Because I may regret that down the road. The other way is to do an HHS, which is you have to sponsor the HHS. Okay. You're only allowed to host an HHS one time. And then you have to sponsor an HHS to get a point. And I'll tell you right now, if you're in the business right now and you want to kickstart your business, do an HHS as soon as possible. Don't wait, don't delay. We're available. You're on my team. And the way it works is for your first one, I could sponsor and you can host, which means as a host, you're going to get the rewards of that. You get all the free product. So there's a ton of free product that you can get by hosting. And, what better way to, build up your inventory? Because a lot of times in the beginning, like, oh man, I'm financially in a position where I joined, but I can't afford to buy anything. So now you're stuck. Like it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Well, how do you make money without product, and how do you get product without money, right? So it's a catch-22 sometimes. It's like, so what we did was when we first started in the business is we said, okay, how can I make the business pay for itself? Because I didn't have the money to pay for it. We were in Bible school at the time. We just graduated. I think I'd been graduated for 6 months, and I was working in a restaurant, not making a lot of money. And I saw this business. I'm like, man, I really want to do it, but I can't afford a 3-pack, a 5-pack, or whole house protection. I didn't have an extra $2,000 sitting around. And but what I did know is if I recruited somebody and they bought a pack, I made some money. And if I recruited some more people and they bought a pack, I made some more money. So we just started to recruit. In the beginning, I was recruiting everybody for free. But then eventually people started coming on and buying packs. And by my second month, I had enough money in my bank to buy a 3-pack. And then we sold the 3-pack, which added an extra $3,000 in income to my bottom line, which my second month we made over $9,000. I always say, tell the story that my first month I made $9, the second month I made $9,000. And the reason why was because we started to move product, because I actually became a product of the product. And when you become a product of the product, it's so much easier to move it, right? But then when they introduced the Healthy Home Show, where you could host and actually earn a ton of free product, that's a game changer. Whenever you can actually get in for free and get the product for free and all this stuff. So, now you don't even have to worry about, well, maybe I don't want to sponsor anybody right off the bat or whatever. So just do this, make a list and say, are you serious about a business? Are you serious about it? Right? Is this what you've chosen to do? If you're a Christian, is this what God led you to do? Right? I talked to a guy the other day. He said his biggest obstacle with self-employment is self-discipline. He said that he likes to have a job because the job makes him show up on time. And it makes him do certain things every day. And he says that, every time he's tried to do something on his own, it doesn't work because he's not self-disciplined, which is good that he admitted that, so it's good to know where your weaknesses are because it gives you an opportunity to work on those weaknesses, right? And I said, yeah, I understand, so he's a younger guy. And I said, when I started my first business, I was 21 or 21 or 22. I think I was 21, but either way, I had to do the math. I think it was 89 or something, 90 something. I can't remember. 98. I don't remember. So I was 21 or 22 whenever I started. And I remember, my wife was working, or Christina, she's serving. I don't know. We were all working, and I had a lot of stuff going on, and so like I think at the time we were engaged, getting ready to get married, and so I'm saving up for a wedding, and had a lot of things going on, and I quit my job, right? So I was working door-to-door sales, and I quit my job, and I started this little business where I could go and sell products door-to-door, my own products. I was my own boss, right? But the problem is I had no boss. It was just me. And I was used to working for somebody. And, when I did door-to-door sales for ADT, we used to go to an office and we all had to drive in. This company was smart because it was all young people. They rented an office space. They just kind of scrapped this thing together, but they had us come in the morning, and we would talk about what we were going to do for the day. All right, guys, we're going to go out. We're going to hit this neighborhood. Okay. This is your goal for today. You know, this is who did what yesterday. They give us like a pep talk, and we go out and eat, right? We all jump in a van and we go somewhere and have lunch. And then after lunch, because you don't want to go out super early. I mean, we were usually in lower income neighborhoods and stuff like that. And, you know, if you went too early, nobody was there, nobody was awake or whatever. And people were still working. And, you know, maybe it would just be moms home with the kids or whatever. So we knew we had to go out after lunch. So we'd have lunch, and then we'd go out and we'd knock doors till like 7 at night or whatever. And that was it. Right. So when I quit that, and I got my own business, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go knock doors on my own. Because if I can do this for ADT, why can't I just do it for myself? Right. Well, the first like week, I never got out of the house. I mean, I got up in the morning, I had a bathrobe. So I put on my bathrobe and I would get a cup of coffee. And next thing you know, I'm watching Days of Our Lives and, you know, sitting on the couch. And next thing you know, like, whoa, I just wasted an entire day, you know? And that happened for about 2 weeks, right? So for the first 2 weeks, nothing was going on and I wasn't making any money. So then one day I thought, wow, this isn't going to work because I don't have any structure in my life. You know, it's no boss, no where to drive to in the morning. You know, I watched my parents live a lifestyle of being self-employed, and I said, how can I do it and be successful, right? And then I remembered, well, my mom used to have an office in her house, right? So maybe I should do that. So we took an old bedroom. I had an upstairs bedroom, and I put a desk in it, and I put a shelf in it. I put some inventory on the shelf, and I got a calendar, which if you guys don't have a daily calendar, I challenge you to do it. I mean, some of the stuff I do is old school. I mean, nowadays, all these online coaches and all this stuff, you know, we live in like a hyper-paced digital world, right? But like it boils down to just having, let's see if I can get it on there, like having like this old school, let me see there, my camera's backward. Old school calendar. So this is 2023 on it. And it has like the days, and then it has the month. I love like the monthly breakout thing, you know, where it has like a month, right? And so what I did was I took my calendar and I started to say, okay, what can I do to be more productive in my week? So and I still live by this. I mean, 25 years later, I'm still using the calendar. I buy my calendar in November, you know, for the next year, and I start filling it out, right? So what's the easiest thing to do? It's just like making a list. Okay, so let's just say we have the month of, what are we coming into now? August. So I go into my month of August, and the first thing I do is I want to have something written in my calendar, right? So I go through and I'll put in like whose birthdays it is, different things like that. So I have some writing, you know, and then I'll maybe put in like, okay, so I have to block off the 19th to the 26th for an event. So I'll put little X's through those days because, you know, this is going on. Maybe there's a wedding on the 20, you know, let's say the 26th, there's a wedding. So you would put, you know, wedding, you cross that day off. So then I start to look at it and I say, okay, that way I have Velar trainings, you know, well, I didn't do that back then, but you know, this day, and I'd mark that off. So then I'd look at my calendar and I say, okay, I'm going to commit to door knock from, you know, and I'd put down on Monday and Tuesday of every week. So I would put in door knock Monday, Tuesday every week, and I would go down through and I put it every week. Wednesday, I'd say I'm going to do an in-home presentation. So, okay, so, and then maybe Thursday, Friday, I would try, you know, whatever. And then, so then I'd have like a skeleton of a calendar put together. Right. So in your Velar business, if you're having trouble with structure, because maybe you've had a job in the past, and now this is your first big attempt at being self-employed, and you need structure, start with that. And then what I did was I said, okay, I'm the type of person where I like to see something written down. I need to see something like if I make a list, I'm a restaurant guy. I mean, I've worked in a restaurant since I graduated culinary school in 2023. So, you know, I've been in the restaurant. I mean, my first job was at a Wendy's, right? When I was 16. So I get a thing like this, see, things to do today list, right? And in the restaurant business, before you close the night before, you make your list for the next day. We live and die really by a list in the restaurant business. Like in fine dining restaurants, it's you, if you don't have a list, you're done, right? Because there's so many moving parts to the machine. And so every night we'd get together and have a meeting with all the chefs. And I say, okay, guys, let's talk about your station. What do you need to do? Well, the salad guy, we need to prep lettuce. Okay, boom. I need to cut tomatoes. Oh, boom, write it down. We need to do this. Okay, now how about our, veal ossobuco? Oh, we only have 2 left. Okay, I better make that. How about the rabbit? Do we need to make some rabbit? Yeah, we need to make some rabbit. Okay. How about lobsters? We got lobsters coming in tomorrow. Okay. And so we'd make all these lists. And then what I would do is I'd put things on the list that I'd already done. Because that's how I work. I'm visual. So like, let's say, for example, I just got done, prepping chicken for the next day. So I would write on there, prep chicken, even though I had just finished it. Clean out the walk-in. So I'd write that down. So then when I get up in the morning, I'd have my list on the wall. I'd hang it up on the wall where everybody can see it. And I'd walk over and I'd put a big line through prep chicken. I put my initials next to it. And I go down and clean out walk-in, put a line through that. And then I put my initials next to the one I was going to do. So I'm going to do, I'm going to clean lobsters today. I'm going to start with that. And so the next guy walking in, he grabs the list and he goes, oh man, Mark already did 3 things. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my lettuce cut. And he would grab the list, he'd put his initials next to it. When he finished it, he crossed it off. So why do you do that? Because number one, it keeps structure, right? And then it gives accountability. So I knew what I did. I would have to put my initials next to it. So if I looked at, I'm the owner of the restaurant, but I was also the executive chef. And if I wasn't carrying my weight, that's not good, right? And I could also get a visual of who was doing what, when they were doing it, what was in progress, what wasn't in progress. So for you yourself, these are things that you can personally do to keep yourself on track. So what you may want to do is say, man, I'm going to dedicate in August every Wednesday night, or let's say you have church on Wednesday night, so maybe Thursday night, right? So every Thursday night to a healthy home show. I'm going to do every Tuesday to invite people to the Pastor Eric's opportunity call. If he does one, I think he's been doing that more often. So let's just say he does an opportunity call on Tuesday. I'm going to take every Saturday morning. I'm going to put this in my calendar. Every Saturday morning will be Mike and Robia's training call. Every Monday at 11 a.m., if I can be on there, if I'm not working, I'm going to put Marc Alfano's training meeting. Okay. So you start to build out these are the easy things. These are the things that are already done. You just have to put an X through it. Right. Then you put goals. So the other thing in my calendar, there's annual goals. Okay. So, and I've gone over this in the past, which, like my yearly goals change every year, obviously, because I accomplish goals. Like, and some of them we did, like buy a house. Okay, I bought a house. Okay, move into a house. Okay, that's a good one. So I did that. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna buy a house, you gotta move into it. I put travel to 2 new countries this year, which we've done 1. So I still need 1 more. And then I have things like, I have personal things like stay thin, it's something that I always have to keep on my list of things to do, right? So that's my big annual goals. And then on the other part of my calendar, there's notes. So you can make monthly goals, small monthly goals. So, your goal for the month, what I would highly recommend is jump on board with some of the things that the company's given us to do. Look, if the company's giving you 1 point for an HHS in a month, then I would at least have 1 HHS book between now and the end of the year. Okay. If the company gives you 1 point for signing 5 people on a free subscription, then I would make that a goal every month from now to the end of the year. Who cares about what happened in the first half of the year? Don't get hung up on the fact you didn't do it or you dropped the ball or anything like that. Let's look at from today forward and see what can I do from today forward to to make up for what I didn't do in the first part of the year. Okay. So take that first, take that time and say, okay, this is it. This is my dedication time. I'm dedicating it. And look, our pastor was talking about this just last night. Okay. We just finished up our conference at church. Was it 16 services or something like that in 7 days? How do you do that? Sunday to Sunday, day and night, right? And Christina and I served a lot in kids, but last night we got to go to the adult service, and he said, unless the Lord calls you to be scattered, like if he puts you in a lot of different areas, he won't give you the grace for it. Most people, we need to be focused, laser focused, especially when it comes to your income, on one thing, right? So it's okay to have multiple streams of income. I got my hands in a lot of things, but there's one main thing that's paying all my bills, right? Everything else is just hoping. It's like, okay, this thing just launched. Let's see how it works. Or I'm working on my tiramisu company over here. I'll make some orders. Like today, I got to make some orders for tiramisu. Like little things that I'm working on peripherally, right? But like the reason why my tiramisu business isn't exploding is because it's not my number one area of focus right now. Like it's just not. Like it's there, it's peripheral, it's over here. It's not right here. So if your Velar business isn't exploding right now, it's because it's not in your main line of sight. It's off to the side somewhere, right? Oh, I got in that thing, but it's it's kind of a hobby for me. Well, hobbies cost you money, right? They do. I mean, how many of you have a hobby that doesn't cost you money? Well, what's your hobby? Well, I like to bake. It costs you money. My hobby is to go golfing. Costs you a lot of money. I used to love flying airplanes. Cost a ton of money, right? So whatever your hobby is not going to make you money. It's going to cost you money. So if Velar is just a hobby for you, oh, it's just something I got into. It's like a little hobby I do. Well, it's going to cost you money. You're not going to make money at it, and you're going to spend money. Okay. So you have to understand that if that's what you've set this business out as, oh, it's just something I'm trying. Things you try cost you money. I do it. I'll try stuff out, but I have to budget it. I'll say, well, I'm going to try this thing out, but I'm going to budget $200 a month in losses towards this thing. Because if that's all that I'm going to do is just try it out, it's really not going to make me money. Even like right now, when I sell tiramisu, like because of what it costs to do production, a lot of times I don't make anything. I make the product, I break even. Because I'm not focused on it. It's not my focus. It's a hobby right now. It's a side project that I do. It used to be my focus. When it was my focus, we would get orders for $10,000, $20,000 a month in tiramisu. I was selling pallets of it. I wasn't selling pans of it, right? And the difference is that we dedicated and we said, okay, this is it. There's like a point in your mind where you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is it. Like I've made a decision. It's even like Christina and I went to Bible school, but we've never officially launched in full-time ministry. We just haven't done it yet, right? And then until we do that, until you say, okay, this is it, I'm stepping over. Like that's all I'm going to do. And I see a lot of ministers who would do that. Some do it prematurely, and some will go out and say, man, I feel like I'm ready to go. And then, it's like our pastor says, and they go out and get beat up, and then they have to come back and get repaired. Some do it too soon. So it's all about timing, right? But until I officially say, okay, this is it, I'm focused 100% in ministry, and this is all we're going to do. And I start booking meetings. And then we dedicate and we say, okay, this is it. We're going to be on the road for a year straight. I'm going to travel to Europe, and we're going to do 19 cities, and we're going to go to the islands, and we're going to go all across the United States, and we're going to do Central America. And I take my calendar and I start making calls and booking meetings. And until I officially say that this is where 100% of my focus goes, none of that will really ever materialize, right? So, and it's okay. Like in our world, I could be laser focused there and still have my business going. Why? Because my ministry is kingdom business. That's what I do, right? So could I still have a business and still do ministry. Absolutely, you can. But my focus has to say, okay, I'm ready to step over into that. And a lot of it is God's timing. Like you don't want to step out of timing, right? You don't want to be in the wrong place at the right place at the wrong time. We always talk about being at the right place at the right time, but there's a lot of times in life where you're at the right place, but it's just not the right time either, right? You got in a little too soon, or you got in a little too late, or this happened or that happened, or this window wasn't quite open, or this door wasn't quite open yet for you. But you were there, and then you quit, because you got frustrated. And then 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, boom, the door opens. Like I was talking to a guy the other day, and he said, it's like getting halfway to the island, getting frustrated and going back to the mainland. Well, you were halfway there. You just press in, and you're going to still do the same amount of rowing. You might as well just press in and get to where your destination is, right? So anyways, just got off on a rabbit trail there. So you make this structure for yourself now. So now that you have a structure for your life, and you have these goals that you set out. Okay, so now I know my goal, number one, like let's just take the 5 free signups. Why would I focus on that? Okay, well, because I look back at my numbers. We have over 2,000 people in our business. Okay, over 2,000. When I first started, we never pushed the subscribe and save at all. Never. Okay, which means that 90% of those people never got a subscription. They bought machines, but they never got on a subscription. Right? Now, since January, people have been joining with a subscription. And listen, guys, now that they've set the system up to where you can join with a subscription for free, that can be the very first thing that they do. No, do not go and sign somebody up on a pack. Don't do it, okay? Because what will happen is you're going to miss the opportunity for the free subscribe and save. And I'm telling you, it's a bigger opportunity in the long run than even the pack is, okay? So the reason why we don't do it like that is this. We don't do it like that because, think about this. If I just sign you up on a 3-pack, you miss the opportunity for the free subscribe and save. You missed it. It's gone. So the odds of that person now paying for Essentials for Life is it went from like 80% or 90% down to like 5%, right? So if I take my numbers, just basic math, right? Okay, I'm going to grab a calculator real quick, and we'll do this together. And you can do it with your own team. And if your team has 0 people in it, then what you do is you multiply by 0. But let's just say an average, I think Essentials for Life is like 40 points. I think 40 points, I believe, 40 or 50. Let's say if I took 40 people at 40 points, and if everybody started on subscribe and save, say 2,000 for round numbers, and they stuck with it since I started, 2,000 people, 40 points a month is 80,000 points a month. Now, let's just say I made 20% of that. So if I did 80,000 times 0.20, 16,000 a month. That's a 20%. Okay. Now I'm a gold. Let's take it times 35%. That'd be extra $28,000 a month. Okay, so that's a game changer. But Mark, I don't understand why, why would you ever want to focus on just signing up 5 people every month for free? Well, if I would have focused on that January of 2021 and made that my mandate, if they would have even had that, because they didn't have it, and I never pushed it because I didn't want to pressure somebody into buying, a vitamin. I want to buy Earn Service Pros. Well, you got to buy a vitamin. Now it's so much easier. Well, here's the deal. What we're going to do is we're going to sign you up on a free subscription first. You're going to get your first month's free. And then if you want to buy a 3-pack, we're going to log into your back office right away. And we're going to buy a 3-pack. Like we signed somebody. I signed somebody the other day. She joined. She bought a 3-pack of Laundry Pure. She bought a H2 Fuel, a Fresh Air Mobile, I believe, and a Fresh Air Personal. That's a nice order. So it's a nice amount of points. But I didn't just go in on the pack. I didn't say I'll join with a package. No, I said join for free with the free subscription. Then we went into our back office right away. Didn't waste any time because her credit card information is already in there. I have her CVV number written down. We're sitting together at a table, logged in, and I made the transaction, and now she's got the product. So don't do it the other way. Don't, the old days, we always signed somebody on a pack, then we flipped it over and we did the free subscribe and save. And you look, it's not like a bait and switch or nothing like that. Like, oh, we're just going to give this to you for free, guys, so that we get your money for the next 6 months. No, because I always tell people I will literally go in and cancel it for you. Okay. If you call me and if you do not like it, I tell them you got to take it first though. Take it. If you don't like it, and most people go, no, I'll try it. I mean, it's only 6 months. Okay. What's the bonus then for the person? Well, the bonus for the person is that if they join for free with a free subscription, and let's say their intentions are to never do anything, they're just doing you a favor, right? You call, Emiliano calls a friend, hey, can you help me out? Yeah, sure. What is it? Well, listen, I'm in a contest right now with my company, because we are, and I need to get 5 people to join for free. Now, like right now, I'm under the gun because one of my people didn't count. So I got to try to find one more, right? So I'm like, oh my goodness. Like I just get a call from corporate. Oh, this person doesn't count. Oh my goodness, right? Okay, so I got one person that's not going to count because they signed up years ago in the company. They were inactive. They re-signed, whatever. So it doesn't count. So what am I going to do? It's the 31st. So now I need to call a friend. I need to call family. I need to call somebody. Can you help me? I need your help. Oh, what do you need? Okay, I need your credit card number and I need you to let me sign you up for something for free. Well, why do you need my credit card number, Mark? If it's free, why do I got to put my credit card? Well, because I'm signing you up for 6 months on a subscription. The first month's free, but then after that, you can cancel or we can change it if you don't like it, or you can just stay on it. Now, what's the benefit of staying on it? Here's what I tell them. It's just so you know. If for any reason, because when I'm doing this for you, you're joining for free. Okay, you're literally going to be a member of my business. You're going to get your own website. You have access to wholesale prices, right? The company then will email them a coupon code for, I think it's $100 off of air, water, or laundry, or it's a nice deal. Maybe it's a couple hundred off of the water or whatever. So they're going to get a coupon code. Chances are they won't do anything, but there's always that off chance where somebody gets that email and they're like, well, man, I joined this thing to help Mark out, but I like this. And this is like the one guy yesterday, he's like, he's doing me a favor. He said, I'll do it, but he's in sales. He said, I'm going to do it to help you out. But he goes, I'm really into alkaline water. He goes, I rent right now, and I don't know about, putting a big system in my house and this and that. And I said, well, it's portable. You just hook it up to your sink. And so guess what? When that coupon code rolls in, the odds of him buying an alkaline water are going to go through the roof, right? So what's the other advantage to them joining? So I told the guy, I said, oh, here's the deal. I said, once you get it, there's a chance you may want to sell some stuff. Or you may want to start sharing it with other people. I mean, if you love it, why not share it with 5 people every month, right? And I said, here's the thing is with Bolara, in order to get paid on your team, you need 100 points. Or in your first 6 months, you need to be on a subscription. So by doing this free subscription thing, you're actually making yourself eligible to get paid on your team. So why not just keep it? Right? Why not just let it ride for the first 6 months? So now you've covered your basis for the person. You know how many times somebody's joined my business before we had this? In month number 2, they sign a bunch of people up. They've got no personal activity at all. It's down to like the midnight hour, and I call them and I go, hey, you have like all this downline activity. You have no PV, no personal volume. So now you need to buy 100 points. Well, I thought if you were on a subscription that, I said, yeah, but you've missed your chance. It's the subscribe and save cut off on, I think, the 28th of the month or something like that. So you can't even get on a subscription. So you need to go in and buy 100 points. But if they would have been on like a situation like this, they would have already been in subscribe and save. And then whenever that money hit, they wouldn't have to scramble at the end of the month. So this is genius. It really is genius what the company's doing. Okay. So that's one side of it, right? So the one side is that they get the points, and then you start to build this momentum, right? Because this month, hey, now that people are going to start taking notice. Listen, if you're not actively calling people to do this right now, you're not going to grow your business. You're just not. Like, I mean, like in order to be successful, just like me sitting at home on my bathrobe, watching Days of Our Lives, eating cheese balls or whatever, didn't grow my door-to-door sales business. It wasn't until I officially said, okay, I'm going to go out and do something, right? So in that story, what happened was I dedicated certain days, and I said, okay, I'm going to go out and knock for 3 hours, because that's the most I can do it, right? And I take this big case of products, right? It was old timey stuff, right? So I had liniments and ointments, and I had vanilla and cinnamon and pepper and all that. So I go door to door, I knock a door, I get some little old Italian lady, and I say, hey, are you interested in buying some vanilla? And oh yeah, come in, and I'd make 10, 11 bucks, 12 bucks, And so I'm going around door to door selling some product. And then I dedicated the next hours, because I could only knock for about 2-3 hours physically. I just didn't feel like doing it. And then after that, I said, okay, I'm going to start calling places that I could set up and do some free demos. And I got this brilliant idea. I said, I'm going to go to old folks' homes, right? Not like nursing homes to where they're like strapped in a bed. I'm talking like that in between, like where people are just done having a house and they're not sick, but they just don't feel like owning property anymore. So I'm going to go to one of these old folks' homes, right? So I would go in, I said, I know you have activities, right? Oh yeah, we do bingo. We do, I said, can I set up a little table and just demonstrate some stuff and give out some free food and allow them to sample some of my products and try some of my ointments and salves and stuff. And they were always like, yeah, sure. We love free entertainment. And I was in my, 20s at the time. And, so I could go and entertain these old people and have a lot of fun. And they loved it. And then I'd make 50 bucks. But it kept me busy. It was like, man, I'd have bookings in my calendar. Well, I booked this old folks home and that old folks home, right? And then I found a little craft show, right? So I'm like, well, I can set up a table on Saturday at the church craft show. There was like a Methodist church had a little craft show, and a booth was like 50 bucks. So I took the money that I made, I took my 50 and I invested in the show, and I get a table with a nice tablecloth, and I put some product out. I have stuff for sale, and I put out some samples, and people walk through. But then what I had is a drawing box. Okay, it's free drawing. And I had a little display of product, and I say, if I draw your name, you're going to get one of these. You win the basket, right? And in the beginning, I was broke, so like I drew it like once a month. I do 6, 7 shows, and I do one drawing because I didn't have any money. But what I did was, what's that? Okay. But what I did is I would on the drawing slip, which is I highly recommend you guys doing this. I made one for Valara. Is on it, I put their name, phone number. Back in those days, maybe I got their address, phone number, and then I had check boxes. Would you be interested in hosting a home party for my product? Okay. Would you like to do a fundraiser for your school or church or whatever? So I put that block, so I'd put like, would you like more information? I'd like me to send you a catalog, right? So I'd put these little blocks and I'd have them check it off. So I'd go out on a weekend, I'd make now 200 bucks, but I'd get 3 bookings for a home party. So now my calendar starts booking up. So I take my home parties and I'd go out 3-4 nights a week. And at those parties, I'd sell thousands of dollars in product, and I'd make 500-600 bucks. And I said, boom, this is where it's at. So the show led to the bookings, led to the volume. My first day in that business, I made $20. December of that same year, I made $20,000. I mean, we're talking like 1998. So won a ton of awards, spoke at national conventions, did all that kind of stuff. So what really changed? And that's where my success in network marketing took off, because that wasn't even really a network marketing company. It was a direct selling company, same as Valara. And I've done both. I've done direct sales, I've done networking, and I prefer direct sales companies over network marketing companies because there's a real product involved. So like, look, if my team doesn't produce, like even this month, let's say I'm having a horrible month, and let's say I only make, let's say I don't make enough money to cover my bills. Guess what? I could make phone calls right now. I could go get all my old show leads out and I could start calling everybody who's ever seen my product and say, listen, I'm doing a deal right now. You know that machine you saw at the show that used to be $14.99? They slashed the price. It's now $800. Would you like to buy one? I've got 4 sitting in my garage, right? I could make selling those 4 because they're already bought and paid for. I could bring an extra $2,500 just like that, right? I could sign up 6, 7. I can do that without my team doing anything at all because I have inventory, number one. And number 2 is because I've got a stack of leads because I've done shows in the past. All right. So what do? Well, I'm starting to build out the structure of my calendar now. Right. So for you, it's like, okay, you have your goals set out. My goals are I'm going to get 5 people to join for free this month. Okay, for free, no strings attached, free. Tell them you'll call and cancel it for them. I don't care if they're allergic to vitamins. I hate vitamins. I'll never eat a vitamin in my entire life. I don't like that stuff. That's fine. You're going to do it. If you don't want it, it's free. Give it to me. I'll eat it. Okay. But I need a favor from you. Now, some are going to be like that because I have a goal. When you have a goal, you don't want to miss your goal. Right. People ask me, like I do, I was 315 pounds. I lost a bunch of weight. And now it's like, I started teaching a class on how to lose weight online. It's HCG weight loss class. And it's not easy to do, right? So my diet is, you need to be dedicated because you do up to 40 days at 500 calories a day, which is what I'm doing right now because I gained weight while I was away. So I'll do 40 days at 500 calories. So how do you do that? Like most people quit just hearing that. Well, I can't do that. I would starve to death or, I just don't have the willpower to do it. Well, then you're not going to do it. So just don't bother doing it. Right. But then what happens is my desire to be thin and healthy outweighs my desire to eat junk. Right. So, there's days where Christina and I are like, well, it'd be great to have some cheese right now, right? It'd be great just to have a piece of cheese, maybe a little olive oil or something. You know what I mean? I'm a chef and we're Italian people. You know what I mean? So we love to eat. And I love homemade pasta and I love things like that, right? And that's why I got to be 300 pounds. But there was a point in my life where I said, no, enough's enough. I'm going to make a shift. I'm going to make a change. But it has to start up here first. There has to be a mindset change. I have to be able to say in my mind that I'm going to do it. I'm going to be dedicated to it and nothing can stop me. It's to the point now where if you came in and you were like, Mark, and we've had this happen. The first round I did, it was one thing after the next, it was all stuff out of the blue. My pastor turned 60 and we got invited to his birthday party. And you talk about like amazing food, dessert room, all this stuff. And I'm on a diet eating 500 calories. It was great to look at. But I said, well, I'm dedicated. I made up my mind that it's not worth it. I've eaten it. I've worked in 3 Michelin star restaurants. I've eaten the best food that's on the planet. I've done it. I can go back to that memory of doing it and say, okay, I've been there and done that. I don't need to do it again. It's only 40 days. You can do anything for 40 days. So you have to take your mindset for Villar and you have to say, I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated. It's 30 days for 5 people, guys. If you could just do 1 a week, that's 4. So you need to do 1 week where you get 2 people. How about you just do it today? Why not just do it today? What are you waiting for? Look, if you're waiting for somebody to do it for you, it's never going to happen. And that's the problem is most people, they feel like, oh, if I just get into a business like this, that somebody's going to do all the work for me and I don't have to do anything and I can just coast. No, we all have to work. I looked at my points and I said, I need another leg. I need another person. I need to get 1,200 more points. And I start to look at my numbers personally. I say, man, if I'm going to pay my mortgage this month, I have to go out and sell some product. That's the facts, right? I can't wait on people to do it for me. If it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to you, right? So my challenge for you is if you don't own a physical calendar, get one. I don't care. Look, guys, if you're high tech, I do everything on the computer. I got a Google Calendar. I keep it in my phone. There's nothing like physically writing something down and checking it off. There's nothing like it. I've had digital calendars. They don't work. Okay, because they're in your phone. You can't see it. I can't open it up, and I can't see my progress. I even when I'm on a weight, when I'm losing weight, I put my weight in on my calendar. Now I do. I used to do it every day. I used to write it every. Now I do it once a week to see the drop. Okay, I dropped 7 pounds this week. I dropped 12 pounds last week. Right. I want to see it. It's physical. Then I can go back to 2021. I put my income down. Every time I get paid anything from anything, I write it down in my calendar. I put my expenses on the day that I write my bills. I write those down. I don't put everything. And then like I sit there and go, oh, I bought $50 in gas, and I'll write that in there. That goes into QuickBooks. But I'm saying like major expenses, like, the electric bill, whatever, HOA fee. I write all that stuff down in there. I can go back. I have calendars, and I mean, I'll probably have some on a shelf here from 20 years ago. And it's crazy to open up a calendar from 20 years ago and see what you were doing. Man, I was booked. When I was growing my tiramisu business, I can go down through these old calendars and I can say, wow, look at all these deliveries I was doing. Look at all these restaurants we had. Look at how we started doing. Look at the income. Look at my first month in the business, how much we made, $41. Then you fast forward to the next year, the same month. Wow, look, we brought in 30,000 in the same business, same thing. There's nothing like it. I can't do that with my Google Calendar because I'd have to sit there and go through, it's like having a photo album versus having Google Photos. Nobody, we used to have piles of photo albums. There was nothing like it. You sit there and you flip through. Wow, look at this, look at this. Now you'd have to physically go through and do a search and say, oh, well, let me look at 19 or 2021. And you'd have to pull it up and look at it. So number one, if you're taking notes, get a physical calendar. If you already got a calendar, start filling things out. Fill out things you've already done, right? Go back through and write in things. Put in people's birthdays. Put in national holidays. Put in, whatever. Okay? And then you block off days and you say, these are days I'm going to dedicate to these things. National call, the Monday morning training, the Saturday morning training. Those are things that aren't going to make you any money, but they're at least putting something, activity in your calendar for your business. Then you're going to say, I'm going to take these hours of this day, I'm going to dedicate it to, I get a phone call, scam likely. But anyways, I'm going to dedicate this amount of time of this day to calling people. I'm going to take this day, Thursday, every week for a Healthy Home Showcase. And listen, if you want to do it virtually, let's do one virtually. Can you get 10 people to jump on a Zoom, fill in a thing? I'll come on with you from right here from my white desk, and we'll do a virtual HHS. Can you do that? Can you do that once? Just let me know. That I'll add it to my calendar. First come, first serve, because I can't be in 5 places at once. But I could do a virtual, or guess what? I've already done it for you. You can take the HHS out on my YouTube channel. I'll send it to you, and you can just push play on it. We've already done it. I've got two options for you. I got a 12-minute and like a 20-minute one. So you can do it. And then watch what happens between this month and next month with your numbers. I'm telling you, when we dedicate, and then guess what? If you have no leads, I'm telling you guys, there's shows. We're coming into show season. The fall is huge for like autumn festivals and maple festival. I don't even know, like leaf things and that thing, and pumpkin's a big one, right? So get into your local pumpkin festival. I mean, well, it's who's thinking about that? Believe me, right now, when you walk through Aldi's, they're selling Halloween candy. Okay, so believe me, the fall is in people's radar screens right now, right? Book yourself a little table. It may cost you $50. Who cares? Book a table. I don't have any product, Mark. Well, do an HHS, earn yourself some free product, and have something to stick on the table, right? The company's giving it to you. You know, print some pictures of the product, put up a TV with a video. You know, grab your TV out of your living room. It's not paying you a dime. Take it to a show, hook a USB drive into the back of it, and do a loop of a video of Active Pure and just stand there with an order form. Get some of your empty vitamin bottles. If you're not on subscription, you're doing yourself a disservice. Every time you get a pill bottle, fill it full of sand after it's empty and stick it on a shelf and say, this is my demo bottle. I'm going to take it to a show. And I'm going to ask people, do you want to get this for free? Look at everything it has in it. Vitamins, enzymes, minerals, yada, 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 right? And then you start to grow your business from there, right? And if we all do that, if we can collectively do it as a team, you're going to watch yourself rise to the top. And listen, I'm going to end with this. You guys have to see where you're at. You have to know where you're at in the history of the company. We just got the new ASP Plus came out. They dropped the price of the Air and Surface Pro. The next pandemic's already being made in a laboratory in some place somewhere right now by Bill Gates and his crew. So we know the next waves come in. All these things are happening. You're at the right place at the right time with the right team. I have so many people from other teams who call me and say, Mark, I want to be on your team. I can't help you. God didn't put you on my team for whatever reason. So you need to go to your team leaders and you need to get help and support. But guess what? You're on Team Integrity. You're here. We're here to go to work for you. We're here to go to war for you. You have access to all this training and materials. Plug in, do it. If you need my help, call me. All right. Well, anyways, that's all I got for today. It's 12:01. I went overtime. Thank you. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later, Doug. We'll see you. And I'm going to log out. Have a good day.